Hey, this is Matthew Tringali with Better Who, and I was just on a coaching call with a client. We were talking about fees, but in particular, we got into a conversation around property preservation. And so that's why I'm going to shoot this video about property preservation. When I had my management company, I always had this idea of packaging and bundling together property preservation. And depending on where you are in the country, that could include different things, right? So for some of us, it may include like roof inspections, gutter cleanings, septic pumps, HVAC service, furnace service, water heater draining. It could be a whole number of different things depending on where you are in the country and what your properties look like. But I had this idea of bundling it all together and then charging monthly for it, and then the client just gets it. And it sounded good, but I never found a way to make that work well. I know some people maybe have made that work well, but I think the growing consensus in the industry from the folks I'm talking to are keep it separate. Just bill for it as the service comes. And there's a variety of reasons for that. But I want to talk through a couple more points about that. Number one, it's really great to have this for a variety of reasons. And it's great to do it in a mandatory way. It's a great screening tool to figure out which clients are serious about their properties. If you just make it optional and you have lots of people opting out, are they really the client you want? Maybe not. That's a decision you have to decide. I like making mine mandatory on the services that I was offering in this regard, and it helped me screen through and weed out some clients that I didn't want to work with. It's a great value to the client and the tenant to know they're taking care of it. So one example of that, I'm in Charlotte, North Carolina, and that's where most of my properties were that I managed. And so what that looks like is we love doing annual, or actually we did biannual HVAC service because we have true 4 seasons here. But especially doing it in the spring before the summertime comes. Because if we waited and then when it gets hot, what that's, and all of a sudden people kick on their ACs for the first time and a bunch of them don't work, then the HVAC vendors get way behind, and then everybody's upset, right? The client's upset, tenant's upset, you're irritated. So it worked really well to have all of our units serviced in the spring before it got super hot so we could be really proactive about that. So that was really great. One of the other things I did, and we got to talking to my coaching client just now about this, is the way I did gutter cleanings. Now, you're in a part of the country that maybe doesn't need gutter cleanings, but we need them here, and most of the country does. The way I did it is I found a local roofing contractor, and I worked out a deal with him to actually do the gutter cleanings. And so the way that worked is he actually went to all of our properties, so he gave us a pretty good volume price on the gutter cleanings. But while he was there, he cleaned the gutters and he did a roofing and exterior inspection of the property. Great value add for everybody. And if he happened to just come across some really simple nail pops or something like that, he would just fix those on the spot, no extra charge, get credit for that extra touch. But then he would give us this great report. And on the report, it would break it down into kind of two categories. The first category would be, hey, here's some critical things you need to get done to the roof. And then the second category would be, hey, here are the things that aren't critical I recommend you do to the roof. And so we would take this report. So first of all, we already had a gutter cleaning work order with the client. So that's a great value we're adding there. Now, the second thing we have is this work order basically that says, hey, to the client, here's a list of mandatory things that we're going to send this person out to go get done. If you get back to me in a week or within a week and let me know you also want the optional things done, we'll add those too. And that way you'll have it all done. But if you don't get back to me, no problem. We'll just get the critical things done. Notice a couple of things about the way that's happening here. Number one, our policies have to allow us to do this kind of thing, right? So we had the right maintenance policies that said, hey, if this is a critical thing and this is in the threshold, we're not waiting on your permission. We're just going to go get that done. We only were waiting on the extra level for the optional things, right? So you need to have a policy that works. The other thing that's great, and I have other videos that talk about this, but I really encourage you to consider having a work order or a maintenance coordination fee. There are a lot of reasons for that I'm not going to get into in this video. But this was a great way to create a win for everybody involved. I have a work order that I'm coordinating for the gutter cleaning, so I'm getting paid for that. And then I have another work order for this roof job that's getting done. So I'm also getting paid for that, right? So it's bringing in nice revenue for the property management company, but it's also taking great care of the client. So the client was very happy. That's a really extra level of service that we're taking care of their roof, avoiding those future roof inspections, while they also know the gutters are being taken care of. So, just some different things to think about here when you think about property preservation and how to deepen the relationship with the client. That's one of our core values here at Better Who, by the way. Deeper relationships make deeper impacts. Instead of always trying to figure out how to find the next client, sometimes maybe think more about how to deepen the relationship with your current clients. Hope you found this helpful. Look forward to seeing you in the next video.